Welcome back to the podcast where we empower injury victims with informed options and peace of mind. Today's episode covers a question we hear all the time. What happens if I lose my case? It's a fair concern. If you're applying for pre-settlement funding, you're already in a tough spot. You're injured, out of work, and waiting on a legal system that moves slowly. The last thing you want is to borrow money only to be stuck with repayment if things don't go your way. But here's the good news. With Stonewood Funding, if your case doesn't settle in your favor, you owe us nothing. Let's talk about why that's true, how it works, and why it matters. Let's start with the basics. Stonewood Funding does not offer loans. We provide what's called non-recourse funding. That means we're not lending you money based on your credit or employment. We're advancing money based on the strength of your case. And the key word here is non-recourse. That means you are not personally responsible for paying it back if your case doesn't result in financial recovery. We're not collecting from you. We don't come after your assets. There are no monthly payments and no debt collectors knocking on your door. We take on the risk. That's the foundation of what we do. If your case wins, repayment comes from the resettlement. If your case loses, the money is yours to keep. This is important because the legal system can be unpredictable. You might have a strong case. You might have medical records, police reports, and a great attorney. But things will still go wrong. Witnesses disappear. Defendants declare bankruptcy. Courts dismiss for procedural issues. If you have taken a traditional loan from a bank or a credit card, you still owe that money, even if your case fails. But with pre-settlement funding from Stonewood, there's no personal financial risk. Why? Because we're not just handing out money, we're making an investment in your case. And like any investment, we accept that not every one of them will succeed. Let me tell you about Hector, a client from Pennsylvania. He was in a serious auto accident with a commercial delivery van. His injuries were severe, multiple fractures, long-term rehabilitation. He had a good attorney and a solid claim. But months into the case, new evidence surfaced, video footage the defense claimed exonerated the driver. His attorney pushed back, but the case began to unravel. Eventually, it was dismissed due to insufficient liability. Before all of this, Hector had received pre-settlement funding from us, and he used it to cover 3 months of rent, keep up with car payments, buy medical equipment not covered by insurance. When the case collapsed, Hector panicked. He called us, worried he would owe thousands of dollars he didn't have. We reminded him, no in, no repayment. And that was that. He owed us nothing. And that's what non-recourse means. And for Hector, it meant relief, not regret. Now, let's get into the details because you should always understand what it is you're signing. With Stonewood Funding, you and your attorney must sign a funding agreement. That agreement clearly outlines the repayment terms, only if your case wins. If the case doesn't settle or goes to trial and you lose, you keep the money. Here's an important note. The funding amount is based on a portion of your expected settlement, not the full amount. We're careful not to overfund because we want to make sure you are flexible at the end of your case. And if your case settles for less than expected, repayment comes from whatever is recovered. Again, no personal liability. This is what sets legal funding apart from payday loans, credit cards, or personal loans. Let's tackle some of the most common questions we hear about. What happens if I already received funding and my case gets dismissed later? Nothing. You keep the funds and we absorb the loss. Will this affect my attorney's strategy? Absolutely not. We don't interfere with your case or legal counsel in any way. What if I need more funding later? Then apply again. We will reassess your case status and remaining potential value. What's the catch? There is no catch, but there is a cost. We charge a fee that's only due if your case wins. That fee is outlined clearly in the agreement before anything is finalized. At Stonewood Funding, we believe no one should be forced to settle early just because they're broke. When insurance companies delay and drag things out, it's often a tactic. They want you to run out of options so they can offer less and get away with it. Pre-settlement funding changes that. It gives you time. It gives you options. And it gives you power. Most importantly, it doesn't leave you worse off if things don't go as planned. So if you've been holding off on applying for legal funding because you're afraid of what might happen if your case doesn't win, now you know. If your case wins, repayment comes from the settlement. If it loses, you owe us nothing. That is the Stonewood Funding promise. If you're struggling right now and need help, please don't wait another day. Apply online at stonewoodfunding.com or give us a call at 844-544-3863. We're here to give you breathing room, not debt. Thanks for listening today. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and share this episode with someone you care about. Until next time, remember, you only pay if you win. And if you don't, you're still protected.